Hello beautiful peeps, this is Chris from TechSpert and I'm here with a fresh new OnePlus 16. I've already done a full comparison with the mighty Huawei P20 Pro, but I've had lots of feedback asking for a comparison with the Huawei P20 Pro as well, launched earlier this year, and still one of my most favourite smartphones of 2018. So we're going to do a full side-by-side now with OnePlus 6T and the P20 Pro, hardware, software, everything you need to know so you can decide which one might be best for you. And don't forget, for more on the OnePlus 6T and the latest and greatest mobile tech, give that subscribe button a little tickle and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, stick them side by side, they could pretty much be cousins. As you can see here, both OnePlus 6T and the P20 Pro sport a lovely front fill-in display. They're basically the same height, same width, same girth. In fact, the only real obvious difference is the notch up top. Here on the OnePlus 6T, you get a nice subtle little bump. I like to call it the nipple notch, because obviously my nipples look exactly like that. Here on the P20 Pro, it's more of your standard rectangular notch, which you see on a lot of smartphones. But of course, if you actually lift them off the stand, you'll notice another significant difference as well. While the OnePlus 6T has pretty much no lip action whatsoever, here on the Huawei P20 Pro you do get quite a fat lip, and on that lip you'll spy a bit of fingerprint sensor action. Now the OnePlus 6T cleverly hides away the fingerprint sensor inside the display, so you just tap your thumb against that, and then boom, you're into your desktops. The P20 Pro sensor might not be quite as snazzy, you do have to sort of stretch all the way to the bottom of the phone in order to unlock it, but it is super nippy. Definitely faster than the OnePlus effort. One of the benefits of not having it built into that display, and occasionally we do get errors here on the OnePlus 6T as well. It doesn't work perfectly every single time. So sexiness versus practicality basically. Flip them around and both phones are actually made of glass, although you wouldn't be able to tell it from a quick glance. That is because I have the matte finish here on the OnePlus 6T. It's the midnight black model, so as you can see, it's got more of a metallic sheen to it. It's definitely very good for hiding smudges and scuffs and things like that. However, you can pick it up in a full glossy finish, which is what we've got here on the Huawei P20 Pro. You've got a selection of different designs for the P20 Pro. This is the standard gradient finish. You can also get it in the gorgeous mode for Aurora, and frankly, when it comes to sheer sexiness, the P20 Pro has it. This thing is an absolute stunner through and through. I just can't get enough of that design. I want to keep it protected with a case, but I don't want to cover up the sheer gorgeousness. Although, as you'll see there, it has been infected by my greasy fingerprints already just from a couple of minutes of handling it. So you will definitely want to give it a good buffing every now and then. They're both pretty rugged handsets as well. I've had the P20 Pro for several months, no scratches or scuffs or anything. And the OnePlus 6T I haven't had as long, but the Gorilla Glass 5 finish here on the back should hopefully, again, keep it scratch-free. And here on the front you get Gorilla Glass 6, the latest version of GG. That should hopefully pretty much prevent any kind of scratches, and OnePlus has very kindly installed a screen protector on the top to begin with as well. So double protection. However, when it comes to water and dust resistance, the Huawei P20 Pro is the winner there. It's IP67 rated, so it can be submerged underwater up to depths of, I think it's about 1 meter for like half an hour. Absolutely fine. So you can drop it in the bath by accident, you can take it in the shower if you like. Gets the OnePlus 6T. It is also slightly water resistant. It's not IP rated, unfortunately, but OnePlus has taken measures in order to prevent water from leaking in through the various orifices and destroying the guts. So yeah, it'll be fine for like rain showers, things like that. Just don't take it in the bath with you just in case. As for the rest of the design, nothing too remarkable. They both use a bit of Type-C USB down below for charging. That's also where the speaker grills are housed. No 3.5mm headphone jack to speak of. And in case of the OnePlus 6T, you do get their nifty little alert slider here on the side as well. You can basically just flick that, and that puts it into do not disturb mode. Definitely handy if you're about to head into a meeting or something like that. So let's have a bit of a look-see at the display tech. Here on the case of the OnePlus 6T, it's a much bigger screen because it stretches all the way down to that lower lip. Definitely helps out. So even though they're the same dimensions, you get a 6.41 inch screen here on the OnePlus 6T, and it's only 6.1 inches here on the P20 Pro. In both cases it's OLED though. You get an AMOLED panel on the OnePlus, straight up OLED on the P20 Pro. You get a stretched aspect ratio, which means they're nice and slender and comfortable to clutch, and it's also well suited to streaming a bit of movie action on the likes of Netflix. So as you can see there, you don't get any black letterboxing above or below the display, just nice full screen view, definitely gorgeous stuff. And both of these phones support HDR playback as well. Of course, with the P20 Pro you can already stream HDR movies and TV shows on Netflix. The OnePlus 6T, still waiting for accreditation and all that via Netflix, so it doesn't support HDR just yet, but that should be coming any day now. Both the OnePlus 6T and the Huawei P20 Pro support Full HD Plus visuals as well, so as you can can see, photos look nice and crisp, lots of fine detail packed in there. Mate 20 Pro beats both of them with its gorgeous Quad HD Plus screen, but again, the difference is minimal. You'll still be absolutely fine for your photos and videos with both of these handsets. As you can see, nice punchy poppy colors as you'd expect from an OLED panel as well, but you can actually fully customize that color output by diving into the settings. Diving into the settings, you can see you've got the usual night mode, reading mode and stuff like that as well. So the phones can actually fully calibrate themselves based on the ambient temperature of the room, that kind of thing. Or you can just jump on in and manually tweak it yourself. It's on vivid mode by default here on the P20 Pro, but you can scale back to get more realistic hues. You've actually got a little bit more control here on the OnePlus 6T. You can get it matching the sRGB gamut, so for nice realistic visuals. DCI-P3, I just stick it on adaptive mode, so then it actually changes up the color output depending on what you are doing. And good news if you don't like notches, because in both of these smartphones you can get rid of the wee bugger just with a quick tap like so, and as you can see, it then just masks the notch from view. Now on to the tricky part, the software. So both these smartphones are running a nice bit of Android. However, you'll notice that the general look and feel and the feature set as well changes up depending on which phone you get, the OnePlus 6T or the Huawei P20 Pro, and that's because they've got their own overlay sat on top. OnePlus has slapped a bit of OxygenOS version 9.0.3 on the OnePlus 6T, and here on the Huawei P20 Pro you have EMUI, Emotion UI version 8.1.0. That should be getting an update to version 9, which we first saw on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro any day now, hopefully. So you'll notice a few little differences here and there, some subtle things like some of the icons are different. When you pull down the notifications bar as well, you'll notice some changes there. So for instance, the shortcuts that are available to you do differ depending on which handset you go for. And also, while if you swipe right here on the Huawei P20 Pro, you get access to basically the Google News feed. Here on the OnePlus 6T, you get the OxygenOS shelf, and that just gives you fast access to your favorite contacts, your favorite apps. And you can actually change up the widgets that appear on here, add in your calendar, whatever you want to do. Of course, both of these phones are rather beastly as well. They're rather on the big side, but thankfully there's a bit of one-handed help in both cases. It's quite basic here on the OnePlus 6T. You can just basically drag down that notifications bar from anywhere on the screen. You don't have to reach all the way to the top with your tiny little thumbs. It's a bit better here on the P20 Pro though. If you drag your thumb across that navigation dock at the bottom, as you can see there, you shrink down the screen, and all of your apps will appear in this mode as well, nice and shrunken too. So again, it's nice and easy to use just with that one hand. As for the security as well, you do get a nice bit of facial recognition on both phones, again, thanks to those overlays. It's a good alternative. Oh God, just forget you ever saw that. It's a good alternative to the fingerprint sensor if, for instance, you're wearing gloves, your hands are wet, something like that. All you need to do is just tap that power button and boom, both cameras, they'll recognize your mug and you're straight into your desktop. Super nippy on either of these handsets. There's actually a bit of raise to wake action here on the P20 Pro as well, so you can actually just pick up the phone, it'll look at you, recognize your mug, and again, you're straight into it. Here on the OnePlus 6T, you do have to just tap that power button. They both work well in low light, although I've noticed that the P20 Pro definitely performs better when you're wearing sunglasses. Both the OnePlus 6T and the P20 Pro do offer all kinds of gesture support. So for instance, you can quickly flip the phone to mute it at any point. You can take a screenshot by dragging some fingers across the display, all that kind of shenanigans. And both of these phones actually allow you to completely get rid of that navigation bar down below as well, and just use on-screen swiping in the case of the OnePlus 6T, or actually use that fingerprint sensor in the case of the Huawei P20 Pro. So as you can see here, just a quick tap of that fingerprint sensor can take you back, and if you actually hold it down, then it takes you all the way back to the home screen, just an example there. On the OnePlus 6T, you'll have to swipe up in order to get rid of your apps and go back to the home screen. It's quite a nifty gesture. Or if you simply want to go back a step, then all you have to do is swipe up on the side of the screen instead. Anyway, I could basically talk for hours about all the different software features thrown in there, but as you can see, the OnePlus 6T and the Huawei P20 Pro are actually pretty similar. They do share a lot of the same sort of feature sets, the gesture support, the likes of that one-handed help. They're just presented in slightly different ways. Now, when it comes to the performance, the OnePlus 6T is definitely hands down the winner. It's got the Snapdragon 845 chipset in there, backed by the 608 gigs of RAM. The Huawei P20 Pro has last year's Kirin 970 chipset, and it's still very nippy indeed. Everyday performance is nice and smooth. You'll see the odd, strange little stammer here and there, but overall does the job. And that is again backed by 6 gigs of RAM, so you can happily multitask like a mofo. Ugh, I'm just gonna change the navigation up again because it's really hard to get to that fingerprint sensor when it's sat in this thing. So the difference between them is quite nicely highlighted by Geekbench. I don't live or die by benchmark tests by any means, but as you can see here, the Snapdragon chipset does score more highly, especially when it comes to the multi-core score. And if you are going to be playing the likes of PubG Mobile, here on the OnePlus 6T, you also get the new gaming mode version version 2.0 as well. Or is it 3.0? I forget which version they're actually on now. It's a very good gaming mode though. So as you can see here, you've got your CPU and GPU optimization whenever you are playing a game. And if you dive into the advanced settings, you've also got the likes of network boost as well, just to prevent other background tasks from hogging your precious connectivity. But of course, the most intensive games like PubG do run absolutely fine on the P20 Pro as well as the OnePlus 6. No issues whatsoever with frame rates, things like that. As you can see, if you just dive on into the settings using this tiny little icon here, go to the graphics. I've got it set up on HDR detail settings on both of these smartphones and high frame rate, and again, absolutely no problem whatsoever. Nice and smooth. You can see exactly what you're doing. Oh, gonna have a nice little swim. And of course, you've got those nice full HD plus displays as well, so you can see buggers creeping up on you from a mile away. As for the battery tech, well, the OnePlus 6T has a serious upgrade over the OnePlus 6 in that area, because it's a 3700 milliamp cell now compared with the sort of 3300-ish which used to be before. The Huawei P20 Pro has it trumps though with a 4000 milliamp cell on board. But basically, both smartphones will easily see you through a full day, even with really intensive use. I'm talking Skyping, media streaming, all the good stuff. And you get fast charge on both these handsets as well. You get a bit of dash charge here on the OnePlus 6T, and it's supercharged here on the P20 Pro. Neither phone supports wireless charging, but in all honesty, who really cares? It's not exactly the most effort in the world just to plug a cable in every night. And good news when it comes to storage as well, because you get plenty packed away inside there. 128 gigs as standard on both the P20 Pro and the OnePlus 6T, and the OnePlus 6T you can actually upgrade that to 256 gigs if you're going to be downloading a lot of smut or just songs and things, I guess. And neither phone supports micro SD memory cards either, so you can't expand it, but to be fair, 128 gigs, that should do most users quite nicely. All of which guff brings us nicely onto the camera tech, and spoiler alert, the Huawei P20 Pro is definitely. The OnePlus 6T has some perfectly good camera tech on it. It's a dual lens setup, so it's a 60 megapixel primary lens with a 20 megapixel secondary lens, and they're both f1.7 aperture, and you do get some optical image stabilization thrown in there too. But in the case of the P20 Pro, it is a mighty tri-lens setup, and this is definitely one of our favorite smartphone cameras of 2018, at least it was until the Mate 20 Pro came along. You get a mighty 40 megapixel primary lens, f1.8 aperture, that's backed by a 20 megapixel secondary monochrome lens, that's f1.6 aperture, very strong for those low light conditions, and you get a third 8 megapixel telephoto lens as well, which allows you a 3 times optical zoom or a 5 times hybrid zoom, so you get nice crisp shots of your subject even from afar. If you jump on into the camera apps, you'll see they offer a quite similar experience in some respects, but the P20 Pro is absolutely stuffed full of more bonus features. If you start off in full auto mode, we found that the shots with the OnePlus 6T are generally quite good. You can actually go see a full comparison with the Mate 20 Pro and the Pixel 3 XL if you want to see some photo and video examples. It does occasionally overexpose in some HDR situations, whereas on the P20 Pro you tend to get some really nice looking shots in pretty much any conditions. And you also have the benefit of the Master AI mode as well, which can really bring your images to life, produce some nice vibrant hues, but you've got full control over that. You can knock it off if you want, and then you can actually decide whether you want sort of standard more realistic hues or really boost them with some vivid colours. Both phones also come with a Pro mode as well, so you've got full manual controls on there if you like. Tweak the likes of the white balance and stuff, get exactly the kind of image you want. And you can shoot in RAW format on both the OnePlus 6T and the Huawei P20 Pro. As for the video, well, you can shoot all the way up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second here on the OnePlus 6T with some really strong results. The image stabilization is absolutely fantastic. Here on the P20 Pro, it's not quite as strong actually. You can't get that 60 frames per second at 4K level, only at Full HD, and the image stabilization definitely not as good. At that 4K level, it is a bit shonky and shaky. So in terms of general home movies, our preference is definitely the OnePlus 6T. That said, you do still get control over the color reproduction in the videos. We found that the colors are actually quite vibrant, quite vivid here on the OnePlus 6T. Definitely a real change up from the photos where things tend to be sort of more realistic hues or occasionally a little bit washed out if you are in one of those HDR situations. Of course, both phones have a portrait mode. You can shoot a nice crisp shot of your subject and blur out the background into the bokeh style effect. You get a couple of different sort of studio mode type things here on the OnePlus 6T, but the P20 Pro definitely goes to town with its usual soft line, stage line, classic line, all that kind of shenanigans. And both phones also boast a form of night mode as well, which takes a long exposure shot. It's actually much quicker here on the OnePlus 6T, but the results are definitely better on the Huawei P20 Pro, especially for the likes of cityscapes, things like that. The lights aren't overblown here on the P20 Pro, whereas you do occasionally get some overexposure here on the OnePlus 6T. And while you get a small spattering of bonus modes here on the OnePlus 6T, including slow motion and a bit of time-lapse as well, you get a few more bonus modes here on the P20 Pro, though to be honest, we don't really tend to use most of them. And if we swap around to the front-facing cameras as well, quite a similar setup. You get a 16 megapixel single lens snapper here on the OnePlus 6T. It's f2.0 aperture. It's again f2.0 here on the Huawei P20 Pro, but it's bumped up to a 24 megapixel lens. So you can shoot some nice, good looking shots. Of course, you've got a full portrait mode as well with both of these handsets, which tends to work quite well. It basically just uses software smarts to detect your face and blur out everything behind you. Just take one for posterity. Yeah, that's not at all manic or terrifying. Oh god, look like the Joker or something. So that right there is the Huawei P20 Pro versus the fresh new OnePlus 6T. As you can see, they are quite similar in a lot of respects. You get some really nice slick design, although here on the OnePlus 6T you do get that bigger display which just fills the front nicely. In the case of the P20 Pro, of course, you've got that physical fingerprint sensor which is more responsive, but it does take up a bulk of that lip. And although they sport a very different overlay slapped there on top of Android, you do get very similar features in both respects, including great facial recognition, nice bit of one-handed help, lots of gesture support, navigation support, all that kind of shenanigans. What really wins it for the P20 Pro for us is the camera tech, the flexible setup and the fantastic photo quality, which again, completely customizable by the user. Really, really strong stuff. So let us know what you think in the comments down below. Which one do you think might suit you best? Definitely be great to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to hit subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest mobile tech. Love you guys. Cheers. Bye.